Hi, welcome to Harley Classics, and today we're going to take this absolutely fantastic Ford Thames out for a test drive. But before we do, please can you like, share and subscribe our channel. Loads of people watch it, but we do need some more subscribers, so just press the subscribe button and it really will help us out. Thanks very much.
What are we in today then?
We're in 1964 Thames minibus.
As in a Thames, like a Ford Thames?
Yep, like a Ford Thames. Obviously the Thames was the commercial branch of Ford, and they made some fantastic vehicles, and this is one. What you might notice is the background noise. This is actually a diesel. And in the 60s, early 60s, they didn't make many small diesels. So this is fitted, it's not fitted with a Ford engine, it's fitted with a Perkins 1600 diesel.
And is that the engine there?
The engine, yeah, the engine's in between us, which was pretty common in them days. And it gave you what's called really a forward control van. So you had no bonnet, and the engine was in between your legs, sort of thing.
And a heated seat?
And a heated seat, yeah. And bloody hot in the summer, that's all I can say.
So how does this drive compared to a conventional vehicle?
Well, it's totally different, isn't it? I mean, for a start, the gears. It's a column change. So you've got this tiny little gear stick on the column here. It's 4-speed, 4 on the tree. So you haven't got a conventional gear stick down there. You've got this little tiny gear stick here. It is a synchromesh gearbox. So it's a 4-speed synchromesh.
What does that mean?
Well, it means the gears mesh in. So you don't have to double clutch. You've got a synchro on the gears, on all the gears. And the engine, the little 4-speed, 4-cylinder Perkins, what a good little engine. They fitted that engine in thousands of different things, and it's still used today in boats. A lot of boats have that engine in. I know we had a problem with the fuel pump on this, and we actually ordered the part from a boat depot. So yeah, still a well-used engine today. Slow, yeah, it's very slow.
How fast are we, or how slow are we talking?
50 mile an hour.
Is that top speed, or is that what it sits at?
Which is pretty normal for one of these things. But like I say, what makes this van abnormal is that engine. Loads of these were fitted with Ford's own 4-cylinder petrol, and a lot of people say they're a better engine than this, but I tend to disagree. I think this engine with a 4-speed gearbox is probably the one to have. Now, I wouldn't be saying that on a cold wintry morning, because they are notoriously bad engines for starting. They do have a heater plug, and once they're warm they'll start first touch, but cold they do take a bit of winding over.
So the gearbox is unconventional. What about the pedals? Are they all normal?
Pedals are normal. The other thing that's unconventional is the handbrake. So you've got the handbrakes down here.
How are the brakes?
Drum brakes again, all round. So pretty much what a vehicle with drum brakes would be like. They're not bad. They suit the vehicle as long as you drive. You know how the vehicle drives. You know you're not going to break break the land speed record, you know you're not going to do anything silly, the brakes are fine. And this is I think it's a 9-seater, this one, I'm not sure. I think it's a 9-seater minibus, and we have had 9 people in it, and it does pull good with 9 people in. Well, as good as what you'd want to pull for 9 people in. So I think there could be a bit of a business opportunity out there. It's up for sale. Anybody, you know, wanting to do classic tours, you know, up the Dales or whatever, and, you know, around tea shops or from pub to pub or even weddings. I think that, you know, there's a bit of a business opportunity there for you. So there's top gear now, we're in top gear. Like I say, it's nice in top gear. Once you get it rolling, it's not too loud and seems to drive okay.
Keeps up with modern traffic.
It keeps up with modern traffic on these roads, but I wouldn't put it on a motorway. You know, the last time this was on a motorway, it was on the back of my recovery truck doing 70 mile an hour. I think that's the only way you'd ever get 70 mile an hour out of it. These roads are what it suits.
So was this the last of the Ford Thames, or was the ones made after?
No, this was the last of the Ford Thames, and it was sort of like when Ford were transitioning. So this was a 64, and then they sort of transitioned into the Ford Transit van that we all know today. I mean, obviously a little bit different to the ones we know today, but the Transit brand came out and pretty revolutionised the van world, the Ford Transit.
How?
Well, it was the engine in it was different for a start. I mean, it came with a few variants. I think the early ones had the Ford V4 petrol engine in them, similar engine that was in the Saab 96. Great engine, really good engine. But you could get all sorts of engines in a Ford Transit from, you know, in Germany. When they made a Ford Transit with a 1300 engine in, I mean, can you imagine a big van like that with a 1300 engine in? You know, it's laughable, really. Diesel-wise, the early ones, they put these Perkins engines in, and the most famous engine that they probably put in for being notoriously bad to start was the York. The little 4-cylinder York, and that was a notorious bad engine to start. Once you got it running, good engine. And they did that in a 4 and a 6-cylinder variant. 6-cylinder Yorks were in Ford A series, and they were actually that bad of a starter that they came from the factory with an easy start facility down here. So they had a canister, what you would get refilled with easy start, and you had to give them a squirt on them all and a sniff on them all, and that's how bad they were. But once you got them running, they were great. They were really powerful, good engines, but just bad starters. I mean, today's direct injection technology, you know, obviously we do away with all that now, you know what I mean? But a good engine, but like I say, just bad to start, basically.
So what would this have been competing with back in the day then?
You'd have been competing against Austin J-Vans, Comma. Comma Space Van had been out there, which was very similar layout to this actually, engine in the middle. They called it the Space Van. Hillman Hunter engine, 1700cc petrol there came with. British Telecom, the post office had thousands of them. But again, they couldn't get the body technology right. They rotted away, you know, they dropped the bits, but they were a pretty good van. Great turning circle, a bit like this. Like I say, a lot of vans had the engine in the middle, right up to the Bedford CFs and the Bedford CAs. Although the CA had the engine, had a little snoot, like the Bedford CF, most of the engine was down here in the cab, so it was like half.
So how did this stack up compared to them? Was this like a basic model, or was this desirable in relation to its competitors?
This was probably a better model. You know, you get this in the deluxe form, and obviously you've seen the back of this one. You know, it's pretty luxurious in its day, and a travel company would have definitely had something like this, or this van, because they would have bought a diesel. You know, because obviously diesel in them days, you know, it was more efficient to run a little diesel truck than what it was a petrol.
So what was the downside to this van?
Probably the downside, again, it's a little bit noisy with the little Perkins engine. Starting in the winter, you know, you've got the disadvantage of that. You haven't got the starting technology of you have today. And the column change is basically rods that lead from here down to the bottom of the truck and then to the gearbox. And there's a lot of linkages. There's a lot of rubbers on the linkages, so there's a lot to go wrong. And it only takes a little bit of wear in one of those rubbers and linkages, and you're underneath twiddling with the rods. But it's if you know where it is, it's not, you know, it's not impossible to put right.
So who would buy this van? Who's this van for? Is it for an investor or an enthusiast or
well, all commercial vehicles in my eyes are an investment because it's free advertising. You know what I mean? You can put what you want on the side, Joe Blogs Travel, you know, Joe Blogs Painter and Decorator, whatever you want to do, you can put on the side. But there's also, I think with this little van, a business opportunity there. Somebody could, you know, buy this van and, like I say, do weddings, taxi runs, you know, specialist days out. So you could advertise trips to, I don't know, Beamish Museum or whatever in this, and you could call it a tea room, or you know, you could go across the Dales, you know, do a tea run or a pub run or whatever. So I do think, you know, school proms, I do think there's a business opportunity there with this little van.
how rare is this?
This is rare. It's. I mean, there is a lot of Thames vans out there. There's not so many minibuses in this guise because this is an original minibus, and there's not that many in this condition because the condition of this is really good. And I would say the engine, the Perkins diesel is the thing that sets this apart from other Thames out there on the market. And obviously the way the interior's been finished in the back there, it's super rare.
How would you say the minibus is performing on our test drive so far then?
It's faultless really, isn't it? It's drives great. It's not all over the road. It doesn't wander. The brakes are good. Obviously it attracts a lot of people's attention, as we've just seen there at the bus stop, people waving. So yeah, I would give it a thumbs up.
What are the parts availability like for Ford Thames then?
The Thames parts have got a very good owners club, and there's a guy who was in the owners club, bought a lot of parts. I think he's a garage owner, and we needed a couple of bits and bobs, a couple of hoses, and we rang them up and they were sent the next day. Body panels you're going to have to look about, or you're going to have made, but luckily with this one you shouldn't need any body panels. It's been fully restored, and underneath this van is really, really good. It's got a photographic restoration. Pictures before, you know, we were like a bit of a horror story. and when you look at it now on the ramp, it's in really good condition. We've gone through it, we've had to do the brakes, which is normal, wheel cylinders, and new shoes. Like I say, we did a lift pump, we did a water pump, did a couple of hoses, and I mean, we had it down at Bewley this year. We used it for our transport, to transport our staff about on a night for a meal. And like I say, some nights there was 9 of us in it, and it was great, you know. I mean, it attracted loads of attention, not just on the show field, but driving through the New Forest towards the restaurants and that. Everybody was looking, it was really good.
So we're coming to the end of the test drive now. How would you sum it up?
Well, I think it's gone all right. It's not a bad van to drive. It's a good driving position. I enjoy the driving position.
Comfortable.
Yeah, it's pretty comfortable.
It is.
I don't know about people sitting in the back.
That's not your problem as a driver.
That's not my problem. Yeah, it's pretty comfortable. Like I say, it's got plenty of power. Brakes are okay. Steering. Like I say, you're going to have that problem with the gear linkage on these sort of vans. I mean, I think it's the second or third one, and they all have that niggly, sticky gear linkage. If you leave them standing for a while, it doesn't do them any good. This one's been okay today. It's been fine. It's just till you get used to it. I think a lot of people with this tiny little gear stick that they rive it and pull it, and it's not to be rived and pulled. I mean, it could even be mistaken for an indicator, couldn't it?
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, you could think, oh, is that the indicator? It's that small. I don't know why Ford didn't beef it up like the Bedford. The Bedford CA has a good one, and the gear changes on the Bedford CA are totally different to this. A lot smoother, I would say. But Bedford CA or this, I think they're on par, to be fair, with you know, driving and also the looks that you get off people and collectability and stuff. To be fair, I've really enjoyed driving this. We've only been out for an hour or so, around a few country lanes and stuff, but it's been nice. It's been a nice drive.
No arguments this time?
No arguments this time. No breakdowns, no arguments. So it's unusual for a classic car or a classic van, isn't it?
It's unusual with us too.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, that's the other thing. People don't drive them like they don't respect them. They drive them like a modern car. And people have this perception that they're going to drive like a modern car. Just forget it. If you think that this van's going to drive like, you know, a Ford Transit van or a Citroen Berlingo or whatever modern van you think of, it's not for you. You know, you've just got to accept the fact that it's not a modern van. It's never going to be a modern van, and it drives totally different to a modern van. You know, it might have 4 wheels and a steering wheel, but that's where really the significance ends. You know, I mean, I was brought up on, like I say, these column changes and going 50 mile an hour. I mean, I don't think my granddad's van did more than 30, to tell you the truth. But I was brought up on them, so I'm pretty much used to them. All the mod cons are here, sliding windows. So, well, that's a test drive over. If you like this video, please, like I say, like and subscribe to the Andrew Hardy Classics YouTube channel, and follow us on all the other socials, on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever you want to do. And if you are interested in buying this van or any other commercial vehicle or classic vehicle that we have for sale, just send us a message on WhatsApp, or give us a ring and send you some photographs or a bit more information or whatever you want to do. Just give us a shout. Anyway, bye bye now.